Welcome to The Explainer. Look, if you're tuning in, you're probably dealing with the sheer anxiety and, let's be totally honest, the massive sticker shock that comes with replacing an HVAC system in 2026. It's easily one of the most expensive things you'll ever buy for your house, and the pricing, well, it often feels like a complete black box just designed to confuse you. But hey, don't sweat it. Today, we're going to crack that box wide open and give you the exact knowledge you need to navigate this massive purchase with absolute confidence. Okay, let's dive right into this. Nationally, the average HVAC replacement cost in 2026 sits somewhere between $7,000 and $15,000 for a standard system. That's your baseline. But if you're looking at upgrading to one of those high-efficiency heat pumps, or if your home just needs a really complex install, you can easily see that number shoot right past $20,000. I know, it's a massive chunk of change, and you absolutely deserve to know exactly what you're paying for. So here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the price tag mystery, where your money goes, essential contractor questions, what changed in 2026, and finally, the real value. If you take three things away from this explainer, it should be the true cost breakdown, the non-negotiable questions you have to ask, and the big 2026 market shifts. Part 1. The price tag mystery, grounding national averages in local reality. We really have to look beyond those broad, black box national averages, because honestly, your specific home totally changes the math. Let's look at three representative projects from this year to make these numbers a bit more tangible. Let's say you're in the Midwest, in a 1,600 square foot home, replacing an aging system with a standard 14.3 SEER 2 AC, and by the way, think of SEER 2 as basically the gas mileage for your air conditioner, along with an 80% efficiency furnace, runs about $9,500. Now jump over to the West Coast. A larger 2,400 square foot home converting to a mid-tier heat pump, that's about $16,000, which includes some minor ductwork adjustments. And finally, up in the Northeast, a massive 3,200 square foot home opting for a premium variable speed heat pump with distinct temperature zones hits $22,500. As you can see, the specific demands of your house and your climate heavily dictate that final price. Moving on to part 2, where your money goes, peeling back the markups. Now, what's really interesting about this next part is addressing the absolute biggest elephant in the room. So many homeowners will Google a condenser unit, see it costs $3,000, and just assume the remaining $9,000 on their quote is pure 100% contractor profit, and that is fundamentally wrong. When we break it down, the physical equipment, the actual metal boxes, is typically less than half of your total bill, usually sitting right around 45%. That other 50 to 100% markup is doing a lot of heavy lifting. It covers the 25% going to highly trained, certified technicians for skilled labor. It covers 20% for operational overhead, things like their fleet of service vehicles, specialized tools, licensing, and insurance. And critically, it covers the 10% dedicated to complex system design, commissioning, and funding that labor warranties so they can actually stand behind their work. Part 3. 3 essential contractor questions. Empowering your decision. We want to shift you from feeling like a passive victim to being an incredibly informed buyer. So when you're sitting at your kitchen table with 3 different quotes in hand, your very first non-negotiable question should be, can you show me the Manual J load calculation for my home? This is absolutely critical. A Manual J calculation is the industry standard method for correctly sizing an HVAC system. They shouldn't just be throwing a dart at a board based on your home's raw square footage. This calculation factors in all your home's unique quirks, the number of windows, the layout, and your specific insulation levels. And when you ask that, here's the exact ideal response you want to hear. Of course, here's the report showing your home's specific heating and cooling load, which is why we're recommending a 3-ton system, not the 3.5-ton unit you have now. Knowing what a competent contractor sounds like is huge. It protects you from paying for an oversized, inefficient system that'll just wear out faster and cost you a literal fortune in utility bills. Okay, the second question you need to ask is, what are the specific model numbers for all proposed equipment and their efficiency ratings? Asking this one simple question is incredibly powerful. Why? Because demanding specific model numbers forces complete transparency. It's really the only way you can make a true apples-to-apples comparison between competing bids. And again, here is the gold standard response you're looking for. We are quoting the Carrier 25VNA 8 heat pump with the FVM4X air handler. Here are the spec sheets showing the 18.0 SEER 2A and 9.5 HSPF 2 ratings. And just a quick note, HSPF 2 is essentially the efficiency score for the heating side of your heat pump. By providing this exact level of detail, a reputable contractor proves beyond a doubt that they aren't trying to sneak lower-tier, cheaper equipment inside a premium-priced bid. All right, here is your third and final non-negotiable question. What does your installation warranty cover for labor and for how long? You have to remember something super important here. A manufacturer's shiny 10-year warranty on parts is entirely meaningless if the installation itself is what fails. The parts might be free, sure, but paying a technician out of pocket to come out and actually replace them, that certainly won't be. So the crucial point is finding a contractor who responds just like this. We provide a comprehensive 2-year labor warranty that covers any installation-related issues, which is separate from the manufacturer's 10-year parts warranty. It's written into our contract. Having a strong written labor warranty is the ultimate lie detector. It's exactly what separates the true professionals who confidently stand by their work from the fly-by-night operators who'll just ghost you the moment your system stops blowing cold air. Part 4. What changed in 2026? Understanding market shifts. Let's zoom out to the macro environment for a second to understand exactly why prices have surged nearly 25% since 2022. First up, the Inflation Reduction Act, or IRA, is a major factor. It offers tax credits up to $2,000 for installing high-efficiency heat pumps, which thankfully really helps offset those higher upfront costs. Second, the new Series 2 minimum efficiency standards mean that the absolute baseline equipment you can buy today is much more complex and therefore more expensive than it was just 5 years ago. And third, the industry is right in the middle of a massive refrigerant transition, phasing out the old R410A in favor of new, lower global warming refrigerants like R32. This change alone requires entirely new technician training and specialized tools, which naturally drives up those labor costs we talked about earlier. Real quick, here's a very practical budgeting tip from the National Association of Home Builders. Always plan a 10 to 15% contingency budget for unexpected renovations. When a contractor starts ripping out an old system, you might hit unexpected permit hurdles or realize you suddenly need significant ductwork adjustments to handle these new high-efficiency airflow requirements. Having that financial buffer ready to go will save you a ton of stress. Finally, part 5, the real value. It's not just a metal box. A lot of folks ask if it's cheaper to replace the furnace and the AC at the exact same time. The answer? Almost always yes. A modern system is designed as a matched set, and overlapping the labor saves significant hours. People also wonder, is high efficiency actually worth it? Well, if you live in an extreme climate with high utility rates, investing in those higher efficiency units often has a payback period of just 5 to 7 years. But seeing that requires a complete mindset shift to find the real value. And this brilliantly illustrates the difference. You have to move away from the wrong mentality, treating your HVAC like a simple appliance commodity you just grab off a shelf at a big box store. Instead, you need to adopt the right mentality, recognizing that you are investing in a custom, professionally installed mechanical system. It is quite literally the life support system for your home's comfort. Which brings us to an absolute core truth from our source material. A perfectly installed entry-level system will always outperform a poorly installed top-of-the-line one. This is absolutely crucial. We really need to stop agonizing over endless brand debates online. The single most important factor in your system's longevity and performance isn't the logo on the box. It's the quality of the contractor doing the installation. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Are you just shopping for a metal box, or are you ready to interview the architect of your home's comfort? Now that you're armed with a true understanding of pricing, markups, and exactly what non-negotiable questions to ask, you are totally ready to take charge of your HVAC project. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy hunting for that perfect contractor.